When it's time to retire, you want to make sure your investments and savings will last. Now, to learn how to make that money last, Grace talked to the founder of Mid-American Wealth Advisory Group, Mark Falter. Here's what he had to say.
Let's go ahead and talk about first, what are some of the biggest concerns for retirees?
Well, of course, the biggest concern of all is running out of money. And with current information, out there, inflation is a big concern in taxes.
How do retirees pay less taxes?
Well, one of the biggest areas that causes them to pay taxes is required minimum distributions. And really the only way to get around that is through Roth conversions. And whether or not a Roth conversion is right it's kind of a different type thing for everybody. And we have software that can actually run analysis on whether or not it makes sense.
So let's talk about one of those scenarios when you convert money into a Roth. What does that look like?
Well, when you convert money, I've always said there would be no more traditional IRAs if you didn't have to pay the taxes. It's money that basically converts from traditional to Roth. You have to pay tax on really all of it as ordinary income. But again, scenario planning and tax planning is very, very important.
And I guess for those who maybe aren't familiar with the Roth, can you just explain that real quick?
Of course, with the Roth, it's different than a traditional. A traditional IRA, the monies will grow tax deferred, where with a Roth, everything is tax-free. So you don't have any required minimum distributions with Roths.
And so why are Roths really something that retirees should be looking at?
Well, two reasons. Of course, you don't have a required minimum distribution. It doesn't create any taxes. And I guess really the third reason is it's great for wealth transfer because the kids or whoever the beneficiaries are can get the money tax-free.
And is it possible to get down to the 0% tax bracket to maximize your retirement?
It's possible. Very rare, but occasionally I do see it. And if a person doesn't have a lot of income outside of the Social Security, then they can actually get down to the point where they're paying zero tax on their Social Security.
And are Social Security benefits taxed?
It depends. Social Security benefits may be taxed. It's based on a thing called provisional income. George Bush Sr. was the one that brought that in and said based on your other income outside of Social Security, your Social Security may get taxed and up to 50%. And then Clinton made it 85%, which is where it sits now.
To get connected with Mid-American Wealth Advisory, go to bettermoneykc.com or call him at 844-777-MARK.